The conversation becomes emotional, personal, raw. And for the first time, Carter realizes Rip isn't just angry. He's disappointed. That hurts much more. What if Oreana isn't actually the problem? What if she's caught in the middle? Oreana is connected to Beulah Jackson's family, making her relationship with Carter far more complicated than a normal romance. That means every decision she makes has consequences. Perhaps she's trying to protect Carter. Perhaps she knows something dangerous. Perhaps she pushes Carter away because she's afraid for him. If that's true, Carter may completely misunderstand her actions. And Rip may be the only person who sees the bigger picture. Imagine Rip telling Carter, sometimes protecting somebody means letting them go. That would be a classic Rip Wheeler lesson. Harsh. Painful. But true. Whenever Carter is hurting, Beth notices. She may not always show it. But she cares deeply. If Rip confronts Carter, Beth won't stand by quietly. She could become the voice of balance. Rip represents discipline. Beth represents understanding. Together they create the perfect parental team. We've already seen how protective Beth can be when it comes to Carter. So when she discovers what's happening, she may pull Carter aside and give him advice that changes everything. Advice he desperately needs. Here's where things get interesting. Episode 9 isn't only about Carter and Oreana. The official synopsis says Rip and Beth face a danger that threatens everything. That sounds much bigger than relationship drama. Many fans believe the growing conflict surrounding the Jackson family and Rob could explode before the finale. What if Carter's personal problems distract him right when the ranch needs him most? What if Rip's confrontation is actually a warning? A warning that something terrible is coming. And if Carter doesn't wake up now, he'll be unprepared when it arrives. The heart of this episode may not be anger. It may be mentorship. Rip sees himself in Carter. Both came from broken backgrounds. Both struggled to find direction. Both made mistakes because of love. That's why Rip's words carry so much weight. He's not speaking as a ranch boss. He's speaking as someone who's lived through the same pain. And that's what makes this confrontation powerful. It isn't about punishment. It's about growth. It's about turning Carter into the man Rip believes he can become. Here's my prediction. Rip confronts Carter. The argument becomes emotional. Carter finally admits how much he's struggling. Beth helps bridge the gap between them. Meanwhile, a new threat emerges that forces everyone to put their personal issues aside. By the end of the episode, Carter and Rip may not completely agree. But they'll understand each other better than ever before. And just as they begin repairing their relationship, the real danger arrives. Leaving fans stunned and setting up an explosive season. What's going on, Dutton Ranch fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is packed with explosive episode 9 trailer predictions as tensions finally boil over between Rip Wheeler and Carter. After everything we've seen in recent episodes, it looks like Carter's relationship drama with Oreana may have pushed him to a breaking point, and Rip is no longer willing to stay silent. Recent episodes have shown Carter struggling emotionally after problems in his relationship with Oreana, setting up what could become one of the biggest confrontations of the season. Episode 9, titled El Padrino, is being promoted as an episode where Rip and Beth confront a danger that threatens everything. Could that danger be bigger than the ranch war? Could it involve Carter? And could Rip finally force Carter to choose between his future and his feelings for Oreana? Let's break it all down. Throughout the season, Carter has been trying to figure out who he is. Unlike Rip, who grew up learning harsh lessons from the Dutton Ranch, Carter is still finding his place in the world. When Oreana entered his life, everything changed. At first, she gave him hope. She gave him confidence. She made him believe he could have something normal. But as their relationship became more complicated, Carter started making emotional decisions instead of smart ones. Fans have noticed that Carter's storyline has become increasingly focused on his relationship troubles with Oreana. And Rip knows it. Rip has always protected Carter. He's never been overly emotional. He's never given long speeches. Instead, Rip teaches through actions. But there comes a point when even Rip reaches his limit. Imagine Rip discovering that Carter has been distracted while dangerous enemies are moving against the ranch. Imagine finding out that Carter ignored responsibilities because he was focused on Oreana. That would be exactly the kind of thing that triggers Rip's anger. Not because Rip hates Oreana. Not because Rip wants Carter miserable. But Rip understands something Carter doesn't. Love can become a weakness if it blinds you to danger. And right now danger is everywhere. The ranch is surrounded by enemies. Beulah's family is in chaos. Will continues to create instability around the 10-petal ranch. This is no time for distractions. Now let's talk about the scene everyone is waiting for. The trailer hints at a tense exchange between Rip and Carter. Here's how I think it unfolds. Carter is sitting alone. Maybe after another argument with Oreana. Maybe after making another reckless decision. Rip approaches. No yelling at first. Just silence. The kind of silence that makes Carter nervous. Then Rip speaks. You're acting like a boy when this ranch needs a man. Carter immediately pushes back. He tells Rip that nobody understands what he's going through. Rip doesn't flinch. Because he's heard every excuse before. The next shot shows Rip watching Carter from a distance. Rip isn't speaking. He's observing. This scene lasts only a few seconds in the trailer, but it's important. Rip understands pain better than almost anyone. He lost his family. He grew up alone. He spent years suppressing emotions. In many ways, Carter reminds Rip of himself. That's why this confrontation feels different. This isn't simply an angry ranch boss yelling at a ranch hand. This is a father figure confronting a son. Recent episodes have continued to strengthen Rip's parental role in Carter's life, despite Rip's tough exterior. The trailer then flashes back to several moments involving Oreana. We see her smile. We see Carter looking at her. We see a quick shot of her walking away. The editing suggests that Carter still cannot move on. The heartbreak remains fresh. Recent fan discussions have focused heavily on Oreana's rejection of Carter and the emotional damage it caused him. Episode 9 appears ready to show the consequences. And those consequences may extend far beyond a broken heart. Now we reach the moment everyone is talking about. Rip grabs Carter by the shirt. The trailer cuts quickly, but we hear Rip say, "Cowboys don't get to quit." That line says everything. Rip isn't confronting Carter because of Oreana. He's confronting him because Carter is allowing heartbreak to define him. Rip has never believed in self-pity. In Rip's world, pain is something you survive. Not something you surrender to. The trailer suggests Carter has been neglecting ranch responsibilities. Perhaps he's making mistakes. Perhaps he's becoming reckless. Whatever happened, Rip has clearly had enough. What makes this confrontation shocking is Carter's response. For the first time, Carter doesn't back down. The trailer shows him staring directly at Rip. Angry. Defiant. Hurt. Then we hear, "You don't know what this feels like." That line changes everything. Because Rip absolutely knows what heartbreak feels like. But Carter doesn't realize it. The emotional conflict here isn't really about Oreana. It's about identity. It's about growing up. It's about whether Carter will become his own man. Many viewers have noted that Carter has been struggling with his place in the world throughout the season. Episode May 9 finally force him to choose who he wants to become. The trailer quickly cuts to Beth. And she looks worried. That's unusual. Beth is rarely afraid of conflict. But this feels personal. Beth loves Carter. Even when she doesn't show it. Over the course of Dutton Ranch, Beth's relationship with Carter has evolved into one of the strongest emotional storylines in the series. She knows what rejection can do to a person. She knows how heartbreak can create monsters. The trailer doesn't focus entirely on Carter. Several scenes hint at escalating problems involving rival ranches. Since arriving in Texas, Beth and Rip have faced constant pressure from powerful enemies. Episode 9 appears ready to raise the stakes again. We see trucks arriving. Men carrying weapons. A tense meeting. And several quick shots of Rip preparing for trouble. The message is clear. War is coming. Here's where things get interesting. Heartbroken characters in the Yellowstone universe rarely stay harmless. Pain often leads to bad decisions. The trailer hints that Carter may attempt to prove himself. Perhaps he takes unnecessary risks. Perhaps he confronts the wrong people. Perhaps he tries to protect Oreana despite everything that's happened. Whatever choice he makes, Rip clearly believes Carter is heading toward disaster. And Rip may be trying to stop him before it's too late. One of the biggest surprises in the trailer is Oreana's appearance near the end. She looks frightened. She looks desperate. And she appears to be asking Carter for help. If that's true, everything changes. Because Carter's feelings for her never disappeared. Recent fan theories suggest Oreana may become involved in larger conflicts surrounding her family and the rival ranch factions. If she reaches out to Carter now, he could be pulled directly into danger. The emotional core of episode May 9th be Rip teaching Carter the lesson he himself learned years ago. Life doesn't stop because you're hurting. The ranch doesn't stop. Responsibilities don't stop. And becoming a man means standing back up after you've been knocked down. That's what Rip represents. That's why this confrontation matters. It isn't punishment. It's preparation. Rip sees a younger version of himself in Carter. And he refuses to let him fail. One possibility is that Carter leaves. The trailer contains several shots of him packing belongings. Could this be misdirection? Possibly. But if Carter decides he needs space from Rip and Beth, episode 9 could send him away temporarily. Fans have already begun speculating about Carter's future and whether Rip and Beth might try a drastic solution to help him mature. A departure would certainly create new drama heading into the finale. Another possibility is even more dramatic. What if Carter gets himself into trouble? What if Oreana's situation draws him into danger? What if Rip is forced to rescue him? That scenario would perfectly fit the emotional themes of the season. The confrontation would create distance. The rescue would bring them back together. And Carter would finally understand how much Rip truly cares about him. This may be the most important theory. Many fans believe Carter is being positioned as the future of the franchise. Episode 9 could be the turning point. The heartbreak. The mistakes. The confrontation. The lesson. All of it may be shaping Carter into the next generation's version of Rip Wheeler. Not a copy. But a successor. Someone capable of protecting the ranch long after Beth and Rip are gone. When we put all the clues together, episode 9 appears to focus on three major storylines: Carter's emotional collapse. His heartbreak over Oreana finally reaches a breaking point. Rip's intervention. Rip forces Carter to confront reality and stop running from responsibility. A growing ranch war. External threats continue to close in on Beth, Rip, and everyone connected to the ranch. These storylines are likely heading toward a massive collision. And when they do, the consequences could be enormous. The episode 9 trailer suggests one thing above all else: this isn't just a fight between Rip and Carter. It's a defining moment. A test. A rite of passage. Rip sees a young man standing at a crossroads. One path leads toward maturity. The other leads toward destruction. And Rip Wheeler is determined to make sure Carter chooses wisely. But the biggest question remains: will Carter listen? Or will Oreana's heartbreak push him toward a decision he can't take back? Let us know your predictions in the comments below. Do you think Rip is right? Do you think Carter will leave the ranch? And do you think Oreana will return before the season finale? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Dutton Ranch updates and trailer analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.